promised earlier on, joining me on the line is political analyst Dr. Hoze Riruako to give us an analysis of the civil servant situation. A very good evening to you, Doctor, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, my brother, and good evening to the nation.
Civil servants started voting for or against the strike until tomorrow. Things are unpredictable at the moment, but should things turn in the favor of them taking or embarking on industrial action, what impact do you think this will have?
Well, two things. The first thing is that you must realize that government is the biggest employer, and you know that the majority of these teachers and other civil servants are using public transport, are using their own vehicles, they have to fuel their cars, they have to take meals in between, and they have to service their mortgages and other things. So the direct impact on our economy is going to be severe, but more so, remember that we are now just coming out of the adverse effect of COVID, where many of the children stayed home, and we can't afford another situation where learners will be deprived of an opportunity to learn. I'm now in the village of Aminus here in Omaheke, and I was surprised that I see many students are roaming around, around school without teacher presence and so on. So in terms of the impact on the economy, in terms of the livelihood of those that are going to be affected, and in terms of the students, the impact will be severe.
Our government has, on the other hand, made an offer and is saying that there is no money to entirely meet the civil servants' demands because of the economic situation. But the workers are too saying that they can no longer tighten their belts, saying, well, the belts have been tight. Where does one strike the balance?
My brother, this is not an issue where we can politicize and play with people's lives. This is a very, very, very serious issue. I mean, if you take the economy of this country for years, it went into full recession, and the economy it's completely overheating, and we know that the economy is currently in ICU. So take a situation where before all this inflation went up, you used to go to a store with $100 and you'll be able to buy a few groceries. You go with $100 now, and you can buy, 2 or 3 items with it. So the reality of the day today is that the economy is not good. And then the other reality is that our per capita income is completely skewed. You have the majority of the civil servants form part of the majority of our people who are living the most difficult life. They are living hand to mouth. And then if you look at the few elites, they are not even feeling the pinch because, they were able to take so much out of the public service, out of government, one way or the other. And now we are in a situation where government cannot look after those that it need to look after the most. And mind you, if you remember, for a number of years, government have not been able to come up with any annual increment. Government have frozen some jobs, have frozen some promotion, asking for a 10%, knowing that the inflation it's worsening. The prices of goods are skyrocketing. The fact that COVID also have closed borders, many things are now hard to get. The scarcity theory, we can't get most of the things, especially in crop production. Most of the crucial commodities that we get. So I think what the public servants are asking, I share their grief, and a few years back also I share the grief even of you people at NBC, and it goes for many companies. We are in a situation now where other countries are pumping money in smaller companies, medium-sized companies, and bigger corporations. These are being done in the U.S. and other countries to make sure that they sustain the companies, so the majority of these companies don't go bankrupt. Now, if you can't increase this thing, you are robbing the public servants of an opportunity to meet the basic necessity of life, which are your safety nets.
Lastly, Doc, one of the employees suggested that government could at least look at giving them some of their money from their pension. What do you make of such a proposal?
It has been done before, not necessarily money from politicians directly. I don't think that is right. But what I'm thinking is that you remember in the U.S. the baby boomers, those who were born in the 40s, when they qualified for their benefits and retirement, many of these people couldn't retire, so the government didn't have so much resources to pay off these people, but they went into the kitty, into the retirement funds, and make sure that they were at least able to meet these people. Now, we have GIPF, and we know how much money of our pension, of our contribution is being invested elsewhere in South Africa and even in the country in bigger projects. I don't think it will be asking too much if institutions of that nature and other institutions that may experience this parastatal, a surplus in their earnings. I don't think it's a bad idea because the government at this point doesn't have the money. To borrow at this point, I don't think it will also be a smart move. But I think a once-off taking from some of these funds, I think we will be able to meet these employees halfway.
Dr. Hoze Riruako, thank you so much for your time. Highly appreciated.
I should thank you a million. Have a blessed day ahead.